Hello and welcome to this week's MTGCardmarket video series. I'm gonna take a look at my regular Delver version with black one last time before I venture off into new territories, but I figured it is worth looking at it one last time and showing you the changes that I made and taking it into battle one more time to see how it fares. So let's take a look at the changes real quick and then we jump into a competitive league. So first of all, I shaved one thing in the eyes and the three Snapcaster mages for 4 Swift Spears because I haven't really tried them with the black and I want to give them another try, given that one of the reasons for Swift Spear to be a bit underwhelming is big blockers like Tarmogoyf and stuff, and the black provides better answers to those in hard removal rather than temporary solutions. So I figured it might be time to give it another try and maybe push the deck a bit more into a proactive, aggressive direction again, to not get too slow in controlling and be a bad control deck. And the other thing is I shaved one Inquisition because it seemed like 6 discard spells with all the cantrips might be a bit too many. Like Jund runs 6, but they don't have all the cantrips. So 5 might be the right number for the main deck. I replaced it with an Izzet Charm, which is still anti-control, anti-combo, disruption potentially, but a lot more flexible, helps against small creatures also, and is an okay top deck late game to cycle through lands and situational cards that are not very useful at the moment. So I like that as like a versatile slot that gives you multiple, adds multiple things to the deck in one card. I also cut the second Terminate for one Murderous Cut, since we're not really using all the cards we put in our graveyard, and there's plenty of non-instant, non-sorcery cards to be delved away. And being 1 mana and only one of our secondary colors makes it a lot easier to cast and more efficient. And the last change is courtesy of Reddit user B0005. He suggested to try Rise Fall, which is a card that I completely forgot about, and I think it might just be what the deck was looking for in place of the remands that I was trying to solve the big cards that we can't get with Inquisition, that kind of break our neck, like Karn and Wormcoil Engine for example, since we only can afford to run 2 Thoughtseize. And there's not that many matchups either where you need to take cards that cost more than 3. Mostly stuff like Scapeshift and Tron and maybe like Jeskai Control. So Rise Fall is great there, and it's also a great late game draw. Can be very grindy, like returning a Bedlam Delver from play to hand and a Delver they killed early in the game, or returning a creature to our hand from the graveyard that we milled into or that died, and bouncing one of their creatures to gain tempo. Like for example, it gives us a bounce effect against the Wormcoil Engine and stuff like that. And yeah, it just seems like a really great card to try. That's it for the main deck changes. And I also changed a couple things from the sideboard. I cut the Molten Rains again, since they're kind of fringe, and the Tron matchup should be reasonably already, especially now with the Swift Spears. I replaced them with a Vampiric Link to improve our burn matchup a bit. You usually want to cast this either on Eidolon, so the Eidolon basically gains us life if they cast spells and deals us no damage if we cast spells, and can't attack either. So they usually have to spend the burn spell on it and gain us the 2 life that we lost for casting Vampiric Link. The other thing is I cut the 2 Dispel for 1 Negate and 1 Duress to have a bit broader answers that hit more problematic cards. I also replaced the explosives that now have even more tension with the deck that we run Swift Spears, and with the change that flip cards now have the casting cost of their front side on their back side, so Delver would die to, even a flip Delver would die to an explosive for 1. So there is that. I also added a second creature to bring in against grindy matchups like black-green X decks and control decks in Vendilion Click, which can also come in against combo as additional disruption, which is really nice. So that's all that I changed in the sideboard, but I think it should make the deck a bit more well-rounded. The 16th card, if I would add one, would probably be a second Magma Spray or maybe a second Vampiric Link to help that burn matchup a bit more, and in case of Magma Spray just be like a versatile card to bring in, but I think we kind of have enough removal to not necessarily need additional Magma Spray. And Grafdigger's Cage just got a whole lot better without Snapcaster, so that can also come in against decks with Kitchen Finks and Murderous Redcap, for example. Alright, that's it for the deck. See you in a moment with the games.